Welcome to this tarot card reading where the topic is going to be what are people noticing about you? Before we start with the reading, I do want to say thank you for liking and subscribing and just overall watching. I appreciate it. And for this reading, we have 3 different piles. I hope you enjoy it. All right, pile number 1. So we're gonna look at what are people noticing about you. And of course, it's a general reading, so take what resonates here. I mean, that's a card. I'm taking that. And the King of Cups. Seven of Wands. The Three of Wands. And the Empress. The Hermit. 10 of Wands. And 6 of Pentacles. Now, that's a hell of an energy here. Pile number 1. First of all, the first message that I just want to throw out here is that people are starting to notice how you are like a divine feminine. I mean, we have the Empress card here, so it's given. All right, number 1, divine feminine energy going on here. Now, it doesn't really matter if you're a masculine or a feminine, like a man, or if you're a woman watching this. We're speaking about energies here, not genders. But yeah, I do feel like here, pile number 1, people are noticing how freaking resilient you are. Yeah, I feel like people could have seen you be in a situation where you like had to defend yourself, had to like stand up for yourself, had to like, you know, fight for something. And people are noticing like how victorious you are, or how victorious you came out of a situation. I feel like people are also taking notice of your energy. Your energy right now, like as I'm doing this, could be very like undefeatable, very strong. I'm just getting these messages of like people are starting to take notice how you're not one to like be messed with. I feel like people are also taking notice of like how powerful you are. Having the King of Cups, I mean, these are very intuitive cards. He is a very intuitive person. He is very emotional as well, but like emotionally clever. I feel like people are like noticing how powerful your thoughts and your mind are. People are noticing how you're able to almost like create a life and create a reality that you have for yourself, even if it requires you to like shift and change the people that you have around you. And if you have done that recently, pile number 1, I just gotta say, people are noticing how freaking powerful you are when it comes to that. So it's giving this it factor. It's giving this energy of like, if I want it, I got it. And it's giving this energy of like, not to be played with is what I'm hearing. There could be something as well about your physical appearance. If you're a man watching this, people are noticing like how good body you have is what I'm hearing. How well built it is. If you have been working on your like physical appearance, I feel like that is also something that people are like starting to notice. If you're a feminine watching this, the same messages applies. I feel like people are like looking at you currently and they're like, damn, pile number 1 is really, you know, beautiful and gorgeous and good looking is what I'm hearing. I feel like for some of you, you could have switched something up in your appearance. This could have been something that you have been like thinking about for a long time, or like considering, or like planned for as well. And if that resonates, yes, pile number 1, people are noticing those changes is what I'm hearing. I feel like as well, people are noticing like how generous you are with what you have around you. I mean, we have the Empress. The Empress comes in with like a very loving energy. I don't know if you recently were generous towards some group of people or someone, but I feel like people are noticing like how divine your energy is. And like when you are nurturing other people or giving other things to other people, people are noticing like how good intentioned it is. I feel like for a lot of you as well, you could have like received some kind of recognition in the past, and I feel like for something, and I feel like people are noticing like how good you are at like maintaining that energy, and how good you are at like feeding the people around you that like supports you is what I'm hearing. Yeah, for some of you, it could just be like people are noticing like how generous you are towards like your friends or your family. Y'all could be like the caregiver, caretaker. I'm also getting this energy like people are noticing like how the way that you are in the world, the way that you operate, is almost like a must for you to be able to like maintain this energy and this generosity is what I'm hearing. I feel like people are also noticing like how you are almost like a hidden treasure. I don't know if there could, like, I'm getting this sudden energy of something here. There could have been something that happened like suddenly in your life where people are now starting to take notice of something. And I feel like a lot of people are almost getting like an epiphany moment about this, where they are now looking at you as almost like a hidden gem. I'm also getting this energy here that people notice you and notice that you are somebody who likes to like plan for your future, somebody who has like a long-term vision for your future as well, somebody who's like willing to take the steps for it. For some of y'all, it could even like include moving from one location to another location. And I feel like people are noticing like how devoted you are and how ready you are. I feel like people are also noticing, like, if you have been in a period where things could have been like a little bit struggling, people are noticing as well how you are about to receive some kind of blessings for all of the like struggles that you dealt with in the past. But I'm just getting this energy here that people are looking at you as somebody who's like strong. Whatever you have in life, pile number 1, people are noticing that this is something that you have worked for. And this is something that you have maintained as well. I feel like you have been feeding the right people as well. overall, I'm getting this energy of like people are kind of impressed by you, and they're waking up to your like divinity, starting to realize that who you are and what you bring to this like world isn't just something that happens. It's deeper than that. And I feel like people are starting to notice like the depth of you and your character and like your purpose as well. I feel like, you know, we have since we have the Empress and we have the King of Cups here as well, I feel like a lot of you could feel like you have a very like strong life purpose, and I feel like people are starting to notice that. They're starting to almost like catch up to it, is what I'm hearing. We have the Knave of Pentacles. I feel like people are noticing how financially wise you are as well. I feel like people could be noticing like sometimes you might get into those moments where y'all might have to be kind of boring and like very focused on like the practical stuff. But I'm hearing like it is something that makes people like trust you. The Knave of like Pentacles, he's like the trusted like financial advisor. He might be boring as hell, but he's usually very sound and very wise, and I feel like that's something that people are noticing about you as well. We have the Star here. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And we have the King of Pentacles. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like people are noticing how financially abundant you are or supposed to be. If you feel like if you feel like your finances isn't to the level where it's like supposed to be, I'm just hearing like how people are noticing like how you are meant to have a very financially stable life, is what I'm hearing. People are also starting to notice how you are almost like divinely guided most of the times, is what I'm hearing. People are noticing how like the universe sometimes can bless you with like financial blessings. I feel like people are also noticing like how good you are at like maintaining your finances. You could be good at like saving money for some of you, or like find ways to make your money grow. But there is this unique energy coming through here. I mean, we have the Star card here. So for some of you, I feel like people are not like starting to wake up to like your star qualities and starting to like notice that. But they're also noticing like how loyal you are to your goal, to your vision, to your life purpose, and also hopeful. For some of y'all could be like communicating with like the universe. Some of y'all could be really into like manifestation methods as well. And I feel like people are noticing like how it works for you. Some people could have honestly like witnessed you receiving some kind of financial blessings by doing that, and they're like shocked. Yeah. But I do get here, like when people look at you, they look at you as somebody who is supposed to be financially well off. There's something about the way you look or the way you talk or the way that you behave that gives people this like perception that like, okay, so pile number one isn't just like a normal person. There's something extra, there's something special going on there, is what I'm hearing. For some of you, if you're a female watching this, I'm hearing that people are like noticing how you could have like put more focus like into your physical appearance. Maybe like in the past, you were somebody who were more focused on your goals, almost to a point where you like neglected your appearance a little bit. And I feel like people are noticing how that is changing for you. So like you look better, you dress better, even like the quality of your clothes, they could even be like of a higher quality as well. And I feel like that like makes people also like, it just amplifies this vision of them looking at you as somebody who's supposed to be like well off in life, is what I'm hearing. Maybe you didn't have like the greatest start in life, because we do have the 10 of Wands. So yeah, I feel like the beginning chapters of your life could have been like a little bit struggling. But I feel like people are like noticing how that is about to change for you, but also how like that made you who you are. So the scars that you're carrying like right now from your past is actually something that people find to be very attractive. It looks good on you, is what I'm hearing. I feel like I'm gonna finish off here, pile number 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Alright, pile number 2. So we're gonna draw some cards and look at what are people noticing about you. With the 5 of Pentacles, you could have gone through some kind of financial loss or some kind of loss in the past, and people could be noticing that or be aware of it. We have the 6 of Wands, we have the Sun, and we have the King of Wands. All right, pile number 2. I feel like people are noticing how the sad days for you are over. And literally speaking, because we have the freaking Sun card coming out here. I'm just getting this energy of like, in the past, maybe y'all were in a situation where you felt like you didn't get the kind of like recognition that was like meant for you or out for you, is what I'm hearing. And that's something that could have like made you doubt yourself, or it could have created some kind of loss. For some of you, this is speaking about like your financial status. Y'all might like have expected to get some kind of money, but it didn't happen, is what I'm hearing. But either way, oops, people are noticing how you're coming out of that energy. Like you could have gotten what was like doomed, or what was like meant to happen, or like supposed to happen. Yeah, I feel like this pile, you definitely received some kind of recognition. For some of you, this could be speaking about having some kind of leadership position as well. I feel like people are noticing now how you are supposed to be a leader, how you're meant for it. It's a part of like your life purpose. I mean, the King of Wands, he has a life purpose, and it's very obvious. When he speaks differently. When he does something, he does it differently. It's giving in a different energy, and I feel like people are starting to take notice of that. We have the Sun card here as well. I feel like people are also noticing how whatever you envisioned yourself to have in the past is like coming to light. Having the Sun card coming out here is almost like an indication as well that people are noticing like how you were meant for something, and that it was bound to happen, no matter what people try to do, or no matter how people try to like mess it up or like keep it away from you. I'm hearing this shit was written for you. I feel like people are noticing now how you almost have like a rebirth energy. The sunlight is up, right? There's no more sad days here. And I feel like people are noticing how you're like writing just joy, and you have a lot of joy and you have a lot of strength. It's almost giving me this energy of somebody who like walks outside and you get hit by the sunlight. That warmth that is like in your face, that's all. Usually it's a very nice feeling, and especially if you're not used to sun, if you live like in a cold country. But yeah, I think y'all get what I mean here. People are noticing how the happiness that you have right now is something that you are fully enjoying, and you fully deserve it as well, as what I'm hearing. So people are looking at you as somebody right now who's like very joyful, very like content and very happy, and very confident that whatever happened in the past has like brought you strength, but also trust in life. I feel like people are noticing how you're like trusting in life a lot more right now. People are noticing like how whatever you dealt with in the past as well is also the same reason why you are such a leader as you are today. Now, I don't know if you're a leader at like your workplace or just a leader in your own life, but people are noticing how whatever you have been through hasn't been for nothing. I'm getting here like people are noticing how like they can trust you. And how strong you are. We have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, I feel like people are noticing as well how currently you could be a bit of like a bullshit detector as well. I feel like y'all do not have any time for any type of bullshit today. So that's something that people are noticing. Y'all might even notice how people like, they could be, I don't want to say that they could be a little bit like insecure in approaching you, but they could be a little bit like, yeah, a little bit hesitant, because some of y'all like they get this energy of if they were to say something wrong, you would cut it, and you would cut it like short. I feel like people are also noticing like how you are on the move towards something. And I feel like people are also noticing how willing you are to cut ties to anything or anybody if they were to like stand in your way. You know, the Knight of Swords, he could also be like the kind of person who almost despise other people who are like operating more emotionally. So I just feel like as well, people are noticing like how you're not operating from like your heart space right now. It's more intellectual, logical. If it doesn't make sense, then it's not happening, is what I'm hearing. Is that kind of energy. This could be regarding some kind of financial situation. Where people are like noticing how if it's not up to your level as well, you're not dealing with it. I'm hearing like you're not entertaining anything that is not going to give you the blessings that you feel that you deserve, is what I'm getting. And I feel like people are noticing how that approach is actually giving you some kind of recognition as well. We have the Seven of Pentacles here. Hanged Man, new perspective. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all could have like had some kind of like new change and new perspective into things and people and situations, and that's something that people are like noticing. I feel like people are also noticing like how hardworking you are and how focused you are, but also like how patient you are. I feel like people, they notice how you have a very well-rounded like understanding of the things that you are working on. Like you have a very balanced perspective. Some people could also notice like how you are about to take a little break. So if you have been working very diligently on something, people can notice how like you are currently either trying to take a break or you are going to take some kind of break. Not because you need to rest, more of like you might just want to stand still for a second and look at whatever you have created, is what I'm getting. That's too many cards. Yeah, especially if you did receive some kind of recognition. I feel like a lot of you might step into a period right now where you're just gonna enjoy the feeling, enjoy the moment, and like really take it in. Or people could be noticing, if you are doing that right now, people are noticing that you are doing it because you're honestly just taking a second here to like enjoy this moment, is what I'm hearing. It's too many cards that is like flying out. That's why I'm not taking them. People are noticing how you're juggling. Y'all might be a very like a busy bee kind of person in overall. Yeah, I feel like people could also notice how you're like overall a person who's like a busy bee. Y'all could be some kind of person who has like multiple streams of income, and if that resonates, I feel like that's something that people notice of you. At the bottom of the deck, we did have the Queen of Wands. I feel like people are noticing like how, I mean, we have the Queen and we have the King of Wands here, so people are noticing how you are like almost supposed to be a leader. For some of you, I feel like people are noticing how y'all might be just interested in interacting with like counterpart energies, is what I'm getting as well. Some people that are up to your level is what I'm getting. But yeah, I feel like people are noticing like how you have multiple streams of income. I feel like people are like curious about that. It's too many cards. I can't take them. I'm just gonna go with this card. So we have the Knight of Cups here. I feel like people as well, they notice how you like, and I said it before, you trust in life, but they could see you even being like more bold when it comes to that energy right now. For some of y'all, I feel like people could be noticing how you're like moving away from something and you're taking all of your like success with you and the recognition with you, is what I'm getting. And it could have been like a decision that you took that was based on your intuition, but I'm hearing like it's for the better, and people are noticing how you're trusting this decision. I feel like as well, like people could notice how like if you did step into some kind of money recently, people could be noticing how you're like maybe spoiling yourself a little bit when it comes to that. Yeah, I feel like people are noticing how you're like stepping into like a new cycle in life. It's almost like you having a rebirth, almost like having a new beginning. I did get that like energy with the Sun card as well, but I didn't want to speak about it because it was too vague. But having the World card here, yeah, I feel like people are looking at you as somebody who's like stepping into a new cycle in life. A cycle where you are going to be a lot more like comfortable, a lot more seen as well, is what I'm hearing. I do get here as well. People overall, they notice how like balanced you are. I feel like you have people wondering a little bit where your new perspective is like coming from. I feel like people are also wondering like whatever yeah, I feel like people are wondering where you get it from. But yeah, I feel like overall people notice how like how you are in harmony with your life and how balanced you are as a person. I'm gonna finish off here pile number 2. All right, pile number 3. So we're gonna draw some cards and look at what are people noticing about you. We have the Strength. People are noticing how you're like in peace right now. You could have some problems around you or ahead of you, but I feel like, or like, it doesn't mean like, I don't want to say problems, but challenges, obstacles. But I feel like people are like noticing how you're more than capable of like handling it. But the overall energy here is giving like people are noticing like how you are kind of relaxed right now. You could be enjoying and spending some time with like people that make you feel good and people that like don't trigger you is what I'm hearing. For some of y'all could be spending some time with someone very special to you as well. Yeah, I feel like people are noticing like if you are spending time with somebody special to you, people are noticing how not only is this a very like protected connection, but it's almost like a divinely guided connection. I feel like people are noticing like ever since you and this person connected to each other, a lot of y'all problems like disappeared. And even if it were there, I feel like you having a present in that person's life and they having a present in your life made life a lot more easier is what I'm hearing. But yeah, people are definitely starting to like notice how this isn't just a connection that is like happening from nowhere. People are noticing almost like how this is like your meant to be person, like end all be all type of person. I feel like people are noticing like how you two are very good for each other, how you don't trigger each other, how you smooth like each other's egos and triggers. Yeah, and I feel like people are also noticing like how loving this connection is. And if you haven't, but I feel like for most of you, you are in a connection with somebody. It doesn't have to be like a stable relationship. It could have been like a new connection as well. But either way, if you haven't met a person like that, I feel like people are noticing how you're meant to meet a person like that. I feel like people could notice, like, maybe in the past, y'all were a little bit, like, defensive. Even if you were, like, victorious, is what I'm hearing. But I feel like people are starting to notice, like, how you have started to trust in your own capabilities now. So, like, you handle things and people and situations in a much more confident way, is what I'm getting. I feel like people are noticing, like, how you are less defensive. Yeah, I feel like people are, like, starting to take notice of, like, your charming personality. How charming you can be, how seductive you can be. I feel like people are also noticing, like, how content you are in life. I feel like some people could have assumed in the past that maybe you were defensive because you didn't have that much. But I feel like people are, like, starting to notice right now how you could have been defensive because you actually had something to defend or protect, is what I'm getting. So I feel like people are, like, starting to notice how, like, abundant you are as a person. Yeah, I feel like some people could have assumed that maybe you didn't have, like, a good life, but now there's, like, they're realizing that you actually have a very good and a very content life where you are very fulfilled emotionally, physically, financially, is what I'm getting. I'm getting as well, like, people are noticing, like, how you are a lot more confident now. I don't know, some people could even be, like, noticing how this change might have happened when you met a specific person in your life, or they are, like, suspecting it. I feel like people now, they're noticing how you're, like, a happy-go-lucky kind of person as well. If you're a female watching this, I'm getting here, like, men can notice, like, how cute you are and how cute your energy is. If you're a man watching this, I'm getting here, like, people are noticing how unafraid and how unapologetic you actually are. Maybe you didn't, like, show these characteristics to a lot of people in the past, and maybe you are doing that now. But this is, like, what people are starting to notice. I feel like people are also noticing, like, how intuitive you are and how you like to use your intuition. I feel like people are also noticing, like, how you're not quick to take decisions, but also this energy of somebody who's not afraid to take your time and think through things and feel through things before, like, you make a decision, is what I'm getting. Yeah, but I do get here, people could be noticing, like, how you are, like, indulging in life. For some of y'all, Six of Cups is always given this X energy. I don't know, this could be, like, an X that is, like, having this opinion of you. And for some of you, I feel like it could be, like, an X that is, like, looking into you and seeing you with, like, a new person, and they notice how, like, content you are with that person. So I feel like this person could be a little bit jealous, is what I'm getting. I feel like if you have, like, if you resonated with that situation, this person, I gotta say, unfortunately here, pile number 3, this person did get their eyes open towards you when they saw that you were interacting with somebody else. Now you do whatever you want with that information, but that's a message that is like coming through here. I feel like as well, like, people could also notice like how an ex of yours made you very defensive, but now when you are with somebody who's like divinely guided, how you are like a very different person is what I'm getting. And it shows. I feel like people notice something about your physical appearance as well. If you're a woman watching this, I feel like people could be noticing like how fertile you look right now. You could have very luscious, I don't know, a very luscious appearance. Could be something about your cheeks as well. I don't know, there is something about your appearance that is giving off like fertility. I feel like people are noticing how you have this new spark in life, how you want to act and how you want to move on things. Yeah, I feel like people are noticing that you're quite like creative as well. I feel like people are also noticing, because we had the same cards in pile number 1, I gotta say that, so there might be some messages in pile number 1 that might resonate with y'all. But I do want to say here that people are like noticing how unique you are as well. There's something about you and who you are, maybe your appearances as well, could be something unique about the way you look is what I'm getting. People could be noticing like how you stand out from the crowd, and I feel like people are also noticing like how you have started to like embrace that. Maybe you guys were a little bit like insecure in the past about your like appearance or like your background, and maybe it made you feel like you needed to defend yourself because you were different in the past. But I feel like people are now noticing like how you are starting to embrace this and how you're wearing your uniqueness on you, and it looks good. I feel like a lot of you, maybe you have gotten to like a stage where you're like are accepting of your uniqueness. So instead of like neglecting it, I feel like a lot of you could have spent some time in like trying to heal, because we do have the 6 of Cups here, so we could speak about like healing some childhood traumas. And if you have done that, I feel like that is also something that people are noticing, because it shows in the way that you act. So instead of like neglecting the differences, I feel like y'all could have spent some time here and maybe ask yourself like, why am I like this? And then all of a sudden gotten some type of realization about it, and now you're like confident about it is what I'm hearing. We had the same cards in pile number 2 as well, so y'all might want to go and check out that pile. Might be some messages there that resonates. I feel like people could be noticing how you are balancing things in your life quite good right now. I feel like, yeah, I feel like people are like, even though you could be in a very hectic situation, you're very good at balancing it. So it doesn't show on you is what I'm hearing, and that's something that people notice. Like, I feel like people are noticing, like, if they were to want to know if you are struggling or not. They wouldn't be able to like understand that from the way that you look, because I feel like y'all present yourself very good and you look very good currently, but it just makes people like think that you are quite good at balancing a lot of stuff in your life. People could also be noticing like how y'all might be after some kind of new beginning in something. Or there might be something that you're wanting to like take a leap on. But you could have had like some problems in doing it, is what I'm getting. You could have been like thinking about it, but you haven't done it just yet. And I feel like people are noticing that it is happening because, or like it's happening that way, because you're using your intellectual mind rather than going with the emotions here, is what I'm getting. Yeah, because we do have the Ace of Wands here, so you know, there could have been some kind of idea or some kind of interest that y'all had, that you were like thinking about making a move towards, but you didn't. And if that resonates, pile number 3, I just gotta say that usually when we get the Ace of Wands card, this energy, it's a very small energy. If we don't nurture this energy, then nothing is literally going to happen, because it's such a small energy. It might feel very big at the moment, but in order for it to be like substantial and like long term, we actually need to take care of this moment. So I don't know if you have been trying to use your logical mind in whatever this idea was, but if you did, I'm getting here like that could be a reason to why you haven't like taking a move towards it. And it's because our mind sometimes, and our logical mind sometimes, tends to like neglect emotional sparks and spurge and like impulsive ideas. So I don't know, I just felt like that was like a side message. I'm gonna go back to the actual reading, but the overall energy here, pile number 3, is that people are noticing like how you are wanting to take a leap towards something. I feel like people are also noticing that you might have like 2 different personalities. So one side of you could be very happy-go-lucky, relaxed, you know, go with the flow type of energy. But then you have another side of you where you are very logical, very, you know, cutthroat and very like focused. I'm gonna pull one more card. Yeah, there could have been something that you were like planning on. People could be noticing that. You could have spent some time in planning something, and now you're like ready to take action towards it. I feel like people are noticing as well how you could be somebody who could be very like materially focused. And I feel like people could notice as well how like sometimes you could be like attached to material possessions, is what I'm getting. I'm not saying it's like a bad thing. I'm not getting that energy at all. I'm just noticing like people could be like noticing how you right now are a little bit like egotistical, but I feel like people are also looking at it as something that is like good and necessary. I feel like people are noticing like maybe your egotistical personality traits is actually like the traits that made you want to move towards something else. or like look ahead of you. It's like giving you the motivation is what I'm getting to do something. Anyways, pile number 3, I'm gonna finish off here. I hope you enjoyed it.